So there's this phrase at the end of verse 18 in Ephesians chapter 1 where Paul talks about the riches of his glorious inheritance in the saints. It's one of the gifts that Paul says we have as God's people, this glorious inheritance in the saints. And here's a place where I don't do this often, but I'm going to take issue with the translation with the ESV here because I think in the saints is really confusing. I had to look it up. I had to read about it. I had to try to figure out what does it mean to have an inheritance in the saints. And I think it's just not a great translation. I think a better translation is probably an inheritance among the saints. And that makes a whole lot more sense. Because we have this gift, we have this inheritance from our God, and we celebrate it, we receive it, not as individuals, not just by myself, but I have this gift among God's people. The saints literally means the holy ones. It means those who've been made holy by God. It's those who have been given a place in God's family, and you and I have this gift. Now, let me let you on a little secret about preachers. We say the same thing a lot. And sometimes people get it, sometimes people don't. But if it's good, you repeat it. If it's worth saying, you say it again. And I don't feel bad about it because that's what Paul did. Let me show you. See, in Acts chapter 20, he's saying goodbye to a group of elders, one of the churches that he was instrumental in teaching and planting and starting. And he says this to them as he's leaving. He says, "Now I commend you to God and to the word of his grace, which is able to build you up and give you the inheritance among all those who are sanctified." So he says, I commend you to God's word because God's word is what's going to give you this inheritance. God's word is what's going to include you in the family. And when you're included in the family, you have this inheritance among God's people. Sounds a whole lot like Ephesians. And guess what? The church he was saying goodbye to, it was the church in Ephesus. It was the elders there, the leaders there. And so he said that once, and he repeats it in this letter that he writes from prison, reminding them that they have this inheritance. And guess what? You have it as well. You have this gift of your God. You have this inheritance given to you, but not just to you, to a community that you get to be part of, because you have an inheritance among the saints, which is another way of saying you have a place in God's family. That's his gift to you. Celebrate that today and every day. This inheritance among the saints.